Hey everybody, so it's Monday, Jalila T here. So today I want to talk about I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. Y'all know that song? If you are just tuning in, please make sure that you comment below with where you're watching from so that I can give you a nice little shout out. But I want to talk about being different because it's so relevant to today, right? So, I was doing what everybody else was doing yesterday, getting ready to watch the Super Bowl. And if you're just joining us, please make sure that you comment below with where you're watching from so I can give you a shout out. But I want to talk about being different, right? Because that is something that's so common and it just feels like, everybody has a little case of the, being unique in their own little way, having their own little quirks, right? And being weird sometimes, and just standing out from the crowd. So yesterday was Super Bowl, right? So drop a comment below if you were watching that Super Bowl yesterday. I feel like 30 gazillion billion people were watching it, right? But before then, I was watching, it was like a CBS special. And you know how they do like a couple different people on Sundays? Well, one of the people that they talked about yesterday, I thought he was so amazing. His name is Malcolm Mitchell, and he plays for the Patriots. So his story was amazing. You guys know, if you know anything about Jalila, I love knowing other people's stories about how they got to where they are. So we're talking about Malcolm Mitchell, and he was apparently, when he started playing football, like college football at that level, he could only read at a junior high school level. And that was kind of unsettling to him because he wanted to be a better reader. So it turns out that he decided to put the same amount of effort that he put into football into him practicing and getting better at reading. So as a result of this, during the interview, I just thought it was amazing that the interviewer said to him, it doesn't bother you that people call you a nerd. And, drop a 1 in the comments if you've ever been called a nerd before. I know I have, right? Because you're book smart, you grow up and kids tease you and they're like, oh, you're not one of the cool kids. You're a nerd, right? It's not cool to be a nerd. Well, I think it's cool. And he did too. So that was one of the things that he said. He said, you know what? I take that as a compliment, as a badge of honor, because I did not have the best reading abilities, and this was something that was important to me. He also said, that he felt like it didn't matter what anybody else saying. This was the crazy part, guys. Let me share this story with you. So apparently he had gone to a Barnes and Noble, and while he was in there, he got to talking to a woman, and she didn't even know. She didn't even know that he was a football player, like that he was famous or anything. And she's talking to him, and she invited him to join her book club. Well, he did. He was the only African-American male. He was the only African-American male at this book club with a bunch of older Caucasian women. But he went for months and he enjoyed himself, read books that, he might not have normally picked out, but he did it anyway. He didn't care what anybody else thought. He did something that was outside of the norm, right? So how many times in your life have you been like Malcolm Mitchell where you've done something outside of the norm because you were different, right? And that's what interests you. That's what excited you. That's what you were passionate about. What's wrong with that? Who says that normal is, what everybody else says it is, right? There's no actual standards. The thing that you have to remember is that you are given your own gifts, your own talents, right? So, Deneen, I'll answer your question a little bit. We're not talking about that right now. But yes, we will, you have to recognize your strengths and you have to start embracing them just like Malcolm Mitchell did. So, he realized he wasn't a great reader and that was something that he was passionate about and he fixed it. Now he's literally reading a book a day, right? Not only that, he was able to take that gift, embrace it, and he's an author now. He wrote a children's book called The Magician's Hat, right? He started and created a literacy program. So you never know what you can do with your gifts, with your unique talents, until you actually embrace them, until you decide that you want to use them and you want to use them for good. You were put on this planet to do good, and you were put on the planet to do good with the gifts that you were given. So the only way you're going to figure that out is if you stop worrying about what everybody else thinks and you just do you, right? You can be like Jalila. I'm different. I've always been different. Anybody that knows me from before knows that, my name has always been different, right? So drop a 2 in the comments if you have a different name like I do. Contrary to popular belief, my name is Arabic, right? So most people think, thanks, Sarah Lynn. Most people think that my name is ghetto or hood or whatever you want to call it, but it's not. It actually has an origin. But growing up, my name has always made me different. I look different from most people, right? I have a beauty mark on my face. Most people do not have that. So, I have had the same type of issues, but I've come to embrace my different. I wasn't the child of many talents. I tell this story all the time about how, I didn't even know what my talents were. I would watch everybody else play football, play basketball, kill it in different sports and playing instruments, and that was their thing, but those were never my things, right? So drop a 3 in the comments if you've ever been that child or that person where you watch everybody else around you doing things, but you can't seem to figure out what your gifts are. Right? So it's Monday, y'all. So it's time for a little motivation. You're going to learn how to embrace what's beautiful about you. Embrace your talents. Don't ever let anybody dull your sparkle, right? Because you can take that and you can turn it into something great. You can channel that into some great energy and something that you can give back to the world and share with everyone else. And that uniqueness is crazy because as a child, you get teased for those, for being different, for being unique. But in business, and I relate everything to business. In business, you being unique is what makes you a winner, right? They always tell you, how do you stand out from your competition? How do you stand out from everybody else? Your talents, your gifts, that's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you you. You embrace it. Don't change it. Be who you are and use that to do something good, right? So you want to take what Malcolm Mitchell did and use that as an example. Use it as an example. If you I know that it's crazy, right? Because it's Monday, and Mondays can be very, very, very hard and challenging for people to focus and stay motivated. But I have this message on my heart, and I felt like it needed to be shared because I don't know who watched CBS News on a Sunday besides me. But I just thought that the story was so amazing. I thought that Malcolm Mitchell just really blew me away with how different he is, and especially with him being a football player. But he also said that, that's not what he wants to be remembered for, and that's not, that's not something that he had to work for necessarily. Football is one of his talents, but that was something that he was able to just do, and it came naturally. He worked to learn how to read. So he's very proud of that. He's never, ever going to let anybody steal his joy on that and take away his passion for reading. And I thought it was an amazing story. So if you love what you heard, drop a 5 in the comments below. If you felt like you got value, feel free to comment, like, share, because sharing is caring. Don't forget to be different, right? Remember our theme song, I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. I like to rap a little bit, but yes. So if you feel like there's someone else that needs to hear this message too, feel free to share, because I'm pretty sure they can relate to this story too. You guys have a great night. I'll talk to you later. Peace.